What's really going on here? A sovereign nation is trying to make the best decision for its national defense. Then suddenly, the ambassador of its biggest ally publicly threatens them at a conference. Buy our weapons or there won't be any trade deal. This isn't some made-up scenario. This is exactly what's happening to Canada right now. The U.S. ambassador has turned a military procurement decision into a full-blown diplomatic crisis. Ottawa had ordered 16 F-35s, but the Prime Minister is considering hitting pause. Why? Because he believes there's a better option for Canada. The response from Washington wasn't negotiation, it was an ultimatum. But this story isn't just about fighter jets, it's about whether a country can decide its own defense future, or whether it has to accept choices forced on it from the outside. At the Munich Security Conference, the ambassador didn't hide his message. He declared that if Canada doesn't buy the F-35, then don't expect any trade deal with the United States. This wasn't friendly advice from an ally. This was coercion. Many Canadians are calling this diplomatic blackmail. And they're not wrong. But while Washington is swinging tariff hammers and making threats, another proposal has quietly emerged from Northern Europe. Swedish royalty, along with Saab's leadership, visited Canada. They brought with them an offer, the Gripen E fighter jet. Saab isn't just promising to sell aircraft, they're offering technology transfer, building an assembly plant right in Canada, and creating up to 10,000 jobs. This means Canada wouldn't just be buying a product, it would become a manufacturing hub capable of producing Gripens for other export contracts, including Ukraine. This is the core difference. With the F-35, Canada is a customer. With the Gripen, Canada could become an industrial partner. Defense analysts note that Sweden's proposal isn't just economically attractive, it offers something Washington apparently doesn't want to give: Canadian autonomy. But before we dive into why the Gripen might be the better choice, we need to understand the real problem with the F-35. Because what Lockheed Martin doesn't tell you is far more important than what they advertise. The first problem is mission readiness rates. A U.S. senator in a recent hearing admitted an uncomfortable truth. F-35s are frequently grounded and unable to operate. Their mission readiness rates are far below what was originally promised. This isn't criticism from outside voices. This is an admission from U.S. officials themselves. Reports show repair and maintenance costs have exceeded budgets by $6 billion, with schedules delayed by at least 5 years. When you spend tens of billions of dollars on a weapon system, you expect it to work, but the reality is different. The second problem is technology control. This is the key point that few people pay attention to. The United States owns all the software and core technology of the F-35. Canada cannot upgrade on its own or maintain it without permission from Washington. Every modification, every software update, every replacement part must go through the ALIS system, a logistics platform completely controlled by the U.S. What does this mean? If Washington decides to deny software updates or withhold parts, Canada's entire F-35 fleet could be disabled overnight. No bombs needed, just an administrative decision. The third problem is compatibility and flexibility. The U.S. claims that Canada cannot operate two different types of fighter jets in the same fleet, but this is a dishonest argument. The Royal Canadian Air Force has simultaneously operated CF-18s, CF-101s, and many other aircraft types without any problems. Moreover, the Gripen has been used in NATO exercises and is fully compatible with alliance systems. So why is Washington emphasizing this issue? The answer is simple: control. When the F-35 debate erupted, some military experts spoke up. A retired general warned that Canada shouldn't operate two different types of fighter jets. His argument sounds reasonable until you learn one small detail. He worked as a consultant for Lockheed Martin for 6 years. Analysts call this a conflict of interest. But there's another voice, a retired lieutenant general who initially proposed buying the F-35. He was its strongest advocate, but now he says Canada should cancel the contract. The reason? He realized the U.S. controls too much. Software, parts, upgrades, everything is in Washington's hands. Canada cannot operate the F-35 without continuous U.S. approval. And with a president who has publicly talked about annexing Canada as the 51st state, how can Ottawa trust long-term commitments? This isn't just technical, it's about sovereignty. If you think this is theory, consider Denmark. Last March, the U.S. took parts from Denmark's F-35s and sent them to Israel without notice. Denmark couldn't stop it, violating its foreign policy. A parliament member who supported the purchase expressed regret. "We thought we were buying fighter jets. Turns out we're just renting them, and the U.S. holds the keys." The ALIS system lets the U.S. monitor, control, and disable F-35s worldwide. Data flows to U.S. servers. Analysts call this conditional sovereignty. You own the hardware, but the U.S. controls functionality. Does Canada want this? Sweden proposes building an independent defense industry in Canada with a full assembly plant and technology transfer. Canada could manufacture Gripens domestically and for export, creating 10,000 jobs. Compared to Lockheed's few hundred jobs, which the U.S. wants repatriated, the difference is stark. The biggest benefit is control. With Gripen, Canada owns the source code, upgrades independently, and faces no cutoff risks. Sweden learned this during the Cold War. Technological independence enables political independence. The Gripen embodies this, allowing sovereign sustainment. Sweden and Canada share Arctic interests, needing jets for extreme cold and short runways. The Gripen fits, the F-35 doesn't. Financially, the F-35's $85 million unit price hides $50 billion lifetime costs for 88 jets over 30 years. Flight cost, $35,000 to $47,000 per hour versus Gripen's $8,000. F-35 money goes to the U.S. Gripen invests in Canada. The U.S. requires hangar redesigns costing hundreds of millions of dollars, delayed to 2031. Is Canada buying or renting? Is this how allies act? The ambassador's threat defends Lockheed Martin's profits, not security. Good products sell without ultimatums. Canada faces a crossroads. Bow to pressure and buy F-35s, hoping for stability, or choose Gripen, build capacity, assert sovereignty. Tariffs may follow, but is autonomy worth it? The Prime Minister wants the best for Canadians. Does Canada have the courage? If it can't choose its defenses, is it sovereign?